Living a healthy life, man, it can feel so complicated, right? There's so many rules, so much advice that seems to change every week. But what if it's actually way simpler than we think? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and get straight to the stuff that really truly works. So, let's dive in.
So here's the game plan. First up, we're going to talk about the fuel. What's actually on your plate? Then we'll get the engine running and talk about moving your body. After that, we'll decode some of that common, kind of confusing health language so you can feel totally in control. And finally, we're going to wrap it all up into a simple action plan you can literally start today.
Okay, so just take a look at these two meals. On one side, you've got that classic burger and fries, and on the other, a beautiful grilled fish dinner. Now, we all kind of have that gut feeling about which one is the healthier choice, but what's really the difference here? What's going on that actually impacts our bodies? Let's get into it.
And that leads us perfectly into our first section. What's on your plate? Because honestly, everything, and I mean everything, starts with the food we eat. It is the absolute foundation of our health and our energy. This slide really just spells it out, doesn't it? That burger meal is just loaded with salt, unhealthy fats, and sugar, and it's really lacking in the good stuff, like vitamins and fiber. The fish meal, it completely flips the script. It's packed with protein, vitamins, and fiber, and it's way lower in calories and those unhealthy fats. So the big takeaway here isn't just about cutting out the bad stuff, it's about actively choosing to add in the good.
And that brings us to this word, diet. You know, it has two totally different meanings that get mixed up all the time. First, it's just, well, it's the food and drink you normally eat. It's your lifestyle. But then there's the second meaning, which is a specific plan you might follow to lose weight or for a medical reason. For what we're talking about today, we're focusing on that first one, building a healthy, everyday diet that works for you.
Okay, so we've covered the fuel. Now let's talk about the engine. It's time to get into moving your body and turning all these good ideas into real, actual action. You know, there's this huge myth out there that you need a crazy expensive gym membership, or you have to run marathons to be active. It's just not true. The real power, the secret sauce, is in the small, consistent choices you make every single day. It's all about building a lifestyle of movement, not just cramming in a workout here and there.
So this slide lays out a really powerful, simple game plan. First, you start by subtracting. Cut down on all that extra salt, fat, and sugar. Then, it's about making a conscious choice. Avoid going for the easy junk food option. Next, you add something new. Take up an activity you actually enjoy, even if it's just a regular walk. And the most important part of all, you keep to it. That consistency, that's where the real magic happens.
I absolutely love this quote. It's such a simple but powerful reminder, isn't it? Your body was literally designed to move. So take the stairs, walk to the corner store, just use your feet whenever you get the chance. All those little moments add up to really big results.
So we've talked food and we've talked fitness, but what happens when you're, just not feeling 100%? It's so empowering to understand the signals your body is sending you and to know the language of health. Think of this next section as your personal health toolkit for decoding some of that common doctor speak.
You know, our bodies are pretty good at giving us clear signals. This is all about connecting the cause to the effect. So, for example, you've been wearing new shoes all day? Yeah, it's no surprise you might get a blister. Or you ate something that maybe wasn't cooked quite right. You could end up with a stomach upset. And that tired, weak feeling you get after you've been sick, we call that feeling run down. Just recognizing these simple connections is a huge first step.
Now this is a big one. Language can be super tricky, especially when you're talking about health. There are 3 words in particular that sound kind of similar and get mixed up all the time, but they mean totally different things. So let's clear up the confusion between a prescription, a receipt, and a recipe once and for all.
First up, the prescription. This one's easy. It's that piece of paper you get from your doctor that you take to the pharmacy to get medicine. Simple as that.
Then you've got the receipt. This has absolutely nothing to do with your health. It's just proof that you paid for something. Clothes, groceries, whatever. It's a record of a purchase.
And finally, the recipe. This brings us right back around to food. It's just a set of instructions for cooking. So let's lock it in. Prescription is for medicine, a receipt is for a purchase, and a recipe is for the kitchen. Got it? All right, we have covered a ton of ground, from what we eat to how we move to the words we use. So for this final section, let's put all of these pieces together into one simple, clear action plan.
So what does this all really boil down to?
If you take away anything from our chat today, let it be these 3 things. First, just be intentional with your food. Choose things that are packed with vitamins, protein, and fiber. Second, turn simple actions into habits using those power words: cut down, take up, and keep to. And third, arm yourself with knowledge. Understanding these key terms helps you navigate your health journey with so much more confidence.
And that brings us to the end. But in a way, it's also a new beginning. Because after everything we've talked about, it all comes down to this one question. What is the one small change you're going to make? Because that's where it all begins. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.